Hello, everybody. Hebrew77 here, and welcome to another Shifty Sunday broadcast. I am standing by with God's armor and Sagittarically speaking. Tonight, we have a lot of topics to cover, but remember, this is the call in show. So, you can call in, talk to us tonight, but we're going to cover some topics first. And so, let me just ask you guys, how you guys doing tonight, by the way? I
Who,
meant you.
me? I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I was getting ready to say I meant you guys, as in you and Armor Up, but
I kind of assumed that you were, but I wanted to just do that dramatic pause for effect.
oh, okay, I got you.
There it goes again. Wasn't that cool?
That just blew me away, man.
I know, right? And then watch Armor. He's going to do a really good one right now.
Hey, I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
That was a good dramatic pause.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've nailed it.
I like a quick pause. Hey, so did Cedar and Eddie Von Keen in the house sporting wrenches. Good to see both of them.
Yes.
Awesome. That's awesome. Hey, you know what? We're not doing too bad. We got two people watching.
That's right, and 3 on the panel, so we got 5 in live.
I know. And Eddie Von King says YouTube should start finding anybody named Dan for being late.
They would bring in big revenue.
I know, right? I'd be broke though. I'd have to start selling stuff. Anyway, that dramatic pause. So I want to ask you guys something. When you think of the Mandela effect and the word changing, do you ever see any hitting? Do you ever see any hidden meanings in the word changes? Any of you?
I think I know what you're getting at, and I don't know that I see hidden meanings per se, but I do kind of like try to see if there's a message, if the Mandela effect is trying to send us a message, if there's a hid, I guess more of like an underlying message is the way I would word it.
Yeah, that's sort of what I've always said from day one, is I think there's definitely a meaning to some of it. Maybe not every change, but yeah, I think there's some type of meaning we might be supposed to be getting from some of it, especially the Bible changes in my mind.
I mean, it's just too significant of a phenomenon for it to just be some type of randomness to it where there is no rhyme or reason to it. I mean, now have I decoded the message 100%? No. I think that's kind of like one of those things where it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of discernment and everybody's going to have their own interpretation. It's going to be I don't think we'll ever get to a point anytime soon anyway where we all universally agree on what it is. And what's so odd about the Mandela effect is it seems like there's a it's like it's got everybody covered. Like if logos aren't your thing, well, we got movies. If it isn't the movies that are going to bring you in, we got song lyrics. If that doesn't work for you, we got Bible changes. And if none of the above applies, heck, let's just work on the anatomy a little bit. I mean, it seems like it goes and it covers all the bases.
Not to mention that world, excuse me, world changes as well. Geographic changes.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, that one too.
More specifically, though, and I believe in this, and I'm not telling anyone else that they should also, but this is what I believe. I believe that these messages are sent from God, and God wants us to decode them, or he's hoping that we will decode them. And if you have your eyes open, seems like you should be able to decode some of the messages. Now, I will be talking about one of them's a Bible change, and I think that has a huge, obvious message in it. I'll go ahead
All
and talk.
right. Yeah, I mean, so in other words, I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. There's something in particular that you feel is resonating strong with you, some type of message.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely. I want you to tell me all about it. I mean, that. What a better time than on Shifty Sunday for us to discuss such a thing.
We can use the lion and lamb for an example. Not everybody, but most people remember it being the verse from Isaiah, being the lion and lamb. And the
Yeah. How does
lion,
the original go again? I mean, not that I don't know, but let's just say it so we put it out there.
well, I don't know the whole. I can't quote the whole thing, but
I think
the
it's the lion shall lay with the lamb. I mean, is the basic
yeah.
gist of it. Armor, you can probably help out right about now.
Yeah, sorry, I just got off the phone with my little brother. He just called, of course.
How's he doing?
Oh, good. He's moving tomorrow. He's moving back up to the town he used to live in. Moving in with a friend of his who's in the same type of group home.
So things are kind of working themselves out for him in a good way.
Yeah, he seems to be happy. That's the main thing I was worried about. So I'm less stressed of finding a place for him as long as he's happy there. I mean, I'm going to talk to him, make sure he's allowed to come and go as he wants. I don't want him to be in a prison, If he's allowed to go where he wants and go fishing, that's cool. So
I'm guessing he's becoming more acclimated in his new surroundings, and that it's actually turned out to be a blessing for him compared to his prior situation.
Yeah, I think in the long run it will be because, like I said, he's going to be up with a good friend of his who also has Down syndrome. So they've been friends since high school, basically, since they were little.
All right. Good for him.
Like I said, I'll know more tomorrow when I go investigate the new place and talk to the people and see what the deal is. But yeah,
for sure.
So far, so good. But yeah, as far as the lion and the lamb, there's definitely some wild changes in that verse.
What is the way you remember? What is the way that it used to be?
Well, without looking, it's hard for me to remember, but it was basically the lion shall lay with the lamb. I forget the other. There was another. I think without looking, I'm not sure. But the other big thing I remember is it used to say, "And the child shall play on the hole of the asp and not be hurt." And now there's two children. There's, of course, the wolf, and there's a whole bunch of animals. So,
right, it almost
things like majorly changed. But the wolf dwelling with the lamb is the major one everyone talks about. And I think me and Dan, I don't know if we did it live, but I know the other night we were talking about the fact that there's two children now. And one of them's playing on a cockatrice nest, which ain't even a real creature. So there's a whole couple verses are really weird to me. But yeah, that was the first one where I noticed there was a message where I started to think there may be a message involved in all this. When I seen the
I have
dwelling.
to concur. That's when I came to that conclusion as well. So I think that's definitely got to be on purpose. Not only do we all remember it changed, but even I who don't really know a whole lot about the Bible know that I knew the lion with the lamb thing. I mean, it was one of those well-known verses, that kind of like that got said a lot. It wasn't like it was unheard of, and then for it to choose that particular one and then make the changes that it made, there's an underlying message.
And it's probably the second most quoted verse in the Bible, in my opinion. Of course, John 3:16 being the most quoted, but I'll bet you lion and lamb's second.
Oh yeah, it's definitely top 5, no matter which way you cut it.
And here's what was revealed to me about that one. First, I just wanted to say personally, if you the saying, remember the saying, March will come in like a lion and go out like a lamb.
Yep.
Oh, it can either one, but yeah, the saying is, if it comes in like a lion, it'll go out like a lamb. If it comes in like a lamb, it goes out like a lion. But yes, I remember that saying.
Eddie Von King in chat. I mean, he says, "I'm not any Bible scholar, but even I remember lion, not wolf."
So basically, the thing is, what I have come up with, not on my own, but what I've been instructed to tell you guys, tell everyone this message. The message is, well, the first one's clear: is the lion is representative of that of war and that of what is going on here on earth, all the fighting and wars that we fight and stuff like that is representative of the lion, and the lamb is representative of peace and calmness and peace here on earth. Even though the dove is the symbol of peace, we can all agree with that. But when the lion lays down with the lamb, what that essentially means is the roar of the lion will calm down, and war will then become peace. There will be peace on earth after the, I guess it's what, the 1,000-year war. God's armor.
Well, see, that's a whole weird thing too. Now it's called the 1,000-year reign of Christ. Supposedly, Christ is coming back. He's going to reign 1,000 years. The enemy's going to be locked up. We're going to have paradise basically on earth like it should have been, and then the devil's going to get let loose again and do his thing. And so I don't know. That's what it is now, I guess.
But here's my interpretation. My interpretation on the change is that it's no longer like that, and what we're being shown is that the wolf will now dwell with the lamb. And I think what we're being shown, and this is just my opinion now, is that the wolf represents Satan or something devious.
Evil, devious.
Right. Something devious and deception. And the wolf is going to dwell with the lamb. He's going to come in and dwell with the lamb, pretend to be its friend or whatever, and then he's going to turn around and eat it. So in that interpretation, what I gather from it is that
So you're doing the whole wolf in sheep's clothing, so to speak.
Right, but yeah, exactly. But what I'm trying to say is, and maybe I'm not getting to it quick enough or whatever, but please just bear with me here for 1 second, and then
I won't interrupt you again. Go ahead.
Okay. But so yeah, basically what it's saying now is trying to warn us, don't be deceived by the wolf, because then the wolf is representing of like Satan, or it could be representative of the Antichrist. And the lamb is us. We're the lamb. We're the sheep. Well, we're the sheep, but a lamb also, and in a way, and that we're going to be deceived thinking that it's Christ coming here to bring peace on earth, when in fact the Antichrist is going to come first and deceive us all. And while we're in that cave, he's going to dwell with us, pretending to be the Christ, or pretending to be this good person, or whatever the case may be, and he's going to turn around and destroy us, basically, is what I'm saying. Now, does anybody agree with that, or am I way off base here?
I wouldn't say you're off base. I honestly have not given it as much thought as you have. So it's hard for me to immediately have something thoughtful to go against it. But it is an interesting interpretation, nevertheless.
I would say I agree for the most part, but when it stood out to me, like I said, and this was a long time ago when I first heard about the Mandela effects and this change, it immediately said to me, the lion to me represents Jesus or the Savior. Wolf, of course, represents what Jesus warned us about, the wolf in sheep's clothing, the fake Jesuses, the fake prophets, the fake preachers, the fake everything, which is definitely dwelling with us right now. So to me, it was a wake-up call to realize, and first of all, I want to make sure we understand this isn't a permanent thing. It doesn't mean the lion's never going to lay with us. You know what I mean? It's just, in my opinion, the Father's way to wake up those with the eyes to see this part, that although Jesus does lay with us, does indwell us through the Holy Spirit, basically, he lays with us with the lamb, and the lamb being the new believer, not the sheep, which would be an older believer. I mean, I think that's important. So it's warning us that the wolf is now dwelling amongst these new believers, all these young lambs, these people that are trying to come to the truth are just getting bombarded by all the fake doctrines and the fake preachers and the fake Jesuses and the fake prophets and the fake this and the fake that and the fake religion, the whole thing. I think it was to wake us up, just like the Bible changing itself, to me, was a meaning, because Father basically told me he was trying to wake people up to the fact that they need to quit worshiping a book, because that book, contrary to popular belief, isn't written in stone. It was never meant to be, how should I put it? It was never meant to be what we worship, what we come to for salvation. Father basically told me a long time ago when I was trying to figure out the Trinity, which sort of ties into this whole mess. He told me they've replaced me with my son, replaced my son with a book, and they've turned the Holy Spirit into a sideshow. In other words, they've got us worshiping Jesus as the Father, which Jesus never told us to do. He always pointed to the Father. But yet, 90% of the Christians and the indoctrinated religions people worship Jesus. And that's what he meant by they've turned me into my son. And then he told me they turned the book into my son. In other words, people were looking to the book for their answers. And not that there aren't answers in there. See, this can easily be taken out of what I mean, and it happens every time I try to talk about this. The book is still important. There's still lots of truth in the book. But he tried to show us that it isn't about the book. It's about his son. Quit worshiping the book and holding it holy when it's his son who we're supposed to be worshiping and holding holy. And they've totally taken the spirit out of it and turned him into some type of circus sideshow. So people run around, babble and what they consider tongues, and flop around on the floor and holy gold dust and fire. Turn into any church that supposedly is filled with the Spirit and just look at the nonsense, the drunk in the Spirit and the token the Holy Ghost. And I mean, it's crazy. So, and that's basically what I think the changes are trying to show us. I think at least the lion and the wolf one to me told me that pay attention. The wolf is now definitely amongst us, although he always has been. I'm not saying this just happened. The wolf's always been amongst us ever since the beginning, basically. But Jesus warned us about it, and he told us, beware of the false prophets. Don't be deceived. He kept telling them over and over in Matthew, don't be deceived. Don't fall for the fake Jesuses that are going to pop up. So
and I think that's, I don't mean to cut you off, Armor. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think it was Father's way of telling us it's, pay attention. It's happening big time now. It's the wolf is totally overrun the lion in a worldly way. Not that it's permanent. Again, We win in the end, no matter what this book's saying or what he's trying to tell us. We win in the end. It's just a warning for us to make sure we know that the wolf is very prevalent right now. He's all around all these lambs, dwelling with them.
Exactly. And like when you stay at a hotel, and you don't want to make sure you don't oversleep. You set a wake up call, for the phone to ring at a certain time and wake you up. I think the way I interpret it is it's sort of it is a wake up call, and it's a wake up call for everyone. I think that's why it chose that particular verse. I think there's more meaning in the symbology of the lion and the lamb that's over my head. But the message that I immediately resonate with is it's time to wake up. I think if nobody can't agree on any other part of the interpretation, I can easily identify the fact that it's telling me personally that I need to wake up. That not only do I need to wake up to the false deception, but I need to wake up and get right with whatever I need to get right with, because now is the time. There is no more delay. You can't sleep in this next day. It's happening with or without you.
I agree. And I think that's why this Mandela effect, as we call it, touches everything. I mean, I don't care if you're into rap or if you're into rock or if you're into books or if you're into the Bible or if you're into movies or if you're into cartoons or if you're whatever you may be into, something changed. Whether you notice it or not, it's another thing. But I think the fact that it touched every possible aspect of life that anyone could be into shows that he's trying to reach everyone. He's trying to warn everyone that this thing we call reality may not be what we consider it to be, that there's something way more powerful at work, whether we want to admit it or not, wherever we're at in our journey. I think he's trying to wake everyone up to the fact that, hey, man, there's more going on here than you realize. There's spiritual stuff happening.
Yeah, I concur. And
Very well said.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that. Very well said, man. Very well said. Go ahead, Saj.
No, that's really it. I was just going to repeat myself, so you saved me from that, and the rest of everybody listening.
But I got just one more message to pass along, and then this message also comes from the Mandela effect that I'm just going to come out and say it. Kit Kat. You take the word Kit Kat, and almost everybody, I won't say everybody, but most people can agree that Kit Kat used to have a dash in it. There was a Kit dash cat. And the way it's interpreted to me was, or the way I interpreted it, or however you want to put it, is that the kit represents humanity and the cat represents God, and the dash represents the separation. You with me so far?
Totally.
Okay. So it represents the separation from humans to God, which I think all happened, with Adam and Eve, when Adam and Eve did their what they did, their sin. But it has changed here recently because more and more of us are getting connected to God. And I feel that it's the way the message is, we're all going to be connected with God sooner than later. That's the way it should be, that we will all regain our connection with God, is the message that I'm getting, that separation, that dash in the Kit Kat has now been removed, and the word is all one word together, and that brings us with our togetherness with God. Now, I'll let you guys go ahead and take it over from there. That's the message I needed to get out.
Well, no, that's a good way of I guess what I'm saying is that's a positive attitude. I can't disagree with the message that you're saying. I don't know that I could have personally derived that myself from that from the dash being gone from the Kit Kat, but I can easily see how someone could come up with that analogy based on the things that we've been discussing lately. Um, you know, putting it right there, right after the lion and the lamb interpretation. I mean, I can see that. I can see how you would come up with that.
Yeah, it definitely, I mean, it definitely makes sense because that's another thing that Jesus tried to teach us. It's another thing he came to do. That's the main reason he came and did what he did, not to die for our sins, although he did that. Not saying he didn't. People flip out when I say this, but I don't really give a crap. He didn't come to die for our sins. It was a byproduct. It was a side effect. It was a good thing. He came to connect us back to the Father, to get rid of the separation that we had from the Father. He told us when we pray to our Father, meaning my Father, your Father, Jesus's Father, George's Father, Henry's Father, Elizabeth's Father, our Father. We are connected back to the Father. We don't need priests. We don't need sacrifices. We don't need holy men. We don't need Mother Mary. We don't need anybody to take our prayers to the Father.
And you
He
know what?
reconnected. So I could see that.
Reconnecting to the Father is the perfect analogy. You know why? Because if you really take Kit and Cat and you switch that when you spell kitten, you spell it with a K. So Kit could be short for kitten, right? And then Cat keeps the K theme going, but obviously you're still saying cat, which is an adult cat. So you take the dash away, and you're taking away the separation of the child and the father. So I mean that's an interesting analogy. I would have never have made it on my own, but now that we're talking about it, I can see that it's is representing a non-separation.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's amazing. Amazing revelation, in my opinion. I never would have come up with it, but it makes total sense because we are definitely not separated from the Father.
We got lots of comments. I
Yeah.
wanted to scroll back up. Um, Eddie Von King was saying that he hates the Kit Kat, and Euler, or no, Eddie Von King said Diva Dan. Weird thing today. He saw the sunrise. It was a real light rain, and whoa, it was the most yellow sun that I've seen in years. I think that's in regards to your recent sun video that you made. You want to comment on that?
Wow, that's amazing. I'm glad he was able to see that, and I I don't know. That's the only comment I wanted to make is on that. But like I said with the video, I haven't seen that yellow sun in quite a while, but I haven't really paid that much attention to it here. But like the last, I don't know, the last month or so is when I really started paying attention to it. I've noticed that shadows was coming into my windows and stuff, and the sun would be out on a clear day. Now the video that I showed was slightly overcast, but you would think since there are blue skies would be, even with a slight overcast, that sun should be shining a heck of a lot brighter than what it normally would be. And I do remember it shining a lot brighter. I just wanted to add to that.
Yeah,
The
I
one
haven't
while
watched your video yet, but I do agree that the sun is a lot whiter than it used to be. I remember the sun being yellow in the sky, being like a really beautiful blue color. And now when I look at the sky, even on a sunny day, I'm looking at almost a halogen bulb white and like a grayish blue sky. And so I definitely notice. I definitely realize there's a change.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed, as you guys know, I drive. I leave like 10, 11 at night, and I drive till clean the next afternoon. So I see a lot of sunrises. Every time I drive, I see a sunrise. And it blows me away that when the sun rises, it's my old sun, the one I remember. It's yellow, orange. It's awesome. I mean, it's It blows me away. Every sunrise, my sun's there. But it no sooner clears the mountain or whatever it's coming up behind. In my case, it's usually a mountain because I'm in Pennsylvania in the mountains. It just turns white. And I'll look at my wife and I'll be like, well, the yellow sun's gone. You know, it's white now. So that's something I started noticing since I've been getting up and catching all the sunrises. My sunrise is still my old sun. What happens to it when it gets above the mountain, I don't know. But it goes pure white. It's no longer yellow. It's very strange.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed in that video I made, I got a picture of it on the video. You can definitely tell in that video, even though it's kind of behind some trees and I did it kind of fast, but you could definitely look at it at that time. It was like 9 a.m. in the morning, and it was definitely, like, Sagittariusly speaking, said a halogen bulb almost.
Yeah, I literally can watch it go from yellow to white every sunrise. It's sad. I miss my yellow sun and my dark blue sky. I haven't seen the right color blue sky for decades. Sky used to be dark blue, not faded out worst. But I think that's a lot of problems with the chemtrails myself.
Yeah, Michelle's opinion has arrived in our chat. I want to be the first to thank her for mentioning our show yesterday on Dan's channel. That was really kind of her. Not only did she do it once, but she did it again near the end of her call. And I'm looking at her most recent comment, or I think it's her most recent comment, that only early morning as it sets. Otherwise, it's white and really hot. And being down here in Florida, I will definitely concur with the really hot part.
Speaking of people that's chatting, I guess we can go ahead and do a quick shout out, and then maybe we can go ahead and open the phone lines. I noticed there's about 11 or 12 watching right now, so what do you guys think?
Well, yeah, I was gonna mention that stuff that I was going to talk about, and then we can see if anybody wants to call in.
Sounds good. Can we do a quick shout out though? Anybody?
Sure. I guess that means me.
Well, you know, you're the professional shout out guy.
Yeah, I am the professional shouter outer. We got Wheeler Greg in the room, Preela Minimal with a wrench, Eddie Von Keen, the real one with a wrench, Truth Sets You Free, Michelle's Opinions with a wrench. I seen Jenny Purr in here earlier. Salted Cedar, of course, hanging out with us with a wrench. Screw up, see if I missed anyone. I think I got everybody. You scroll down, see if anyone popped up. Nope. I think we got them all. Welcome, everybody. And like Eber said, we're going to open the phone lines. It's going to be the first time trying this through my system. So bear with us. Try to remember to stay muted up until we take you in the turn you come in, in case we get more than one caller. But yeah, it could be a little rough. Bear with us. We're going to give it a whirl. But I think Sadie has some stuff he wants to lead in with first, which is quite interesting, I think.
Yeah, and then you may, while I'm doing that, go ahead and drop the number and the pin in the chat there. Basically, I was just trying to come up with something interesting for us to talk about with it being Shifty Sunday. And I was basically trying to do some research on if we've had any folklore that may have been Mandela affected, since it seems to be everywhere else. And in part of doing that research, I came across this article that lists urban legends. There's like the scariest urban legend for each state in the United States. So I thought maybe we would just discuss some of these urban legends, see if anybody on the panel has heard of them, or if anybody in chat would like to list their home state, and I'll read the urban legend for their state and see if they've heard from it. And then when we get a caller, maybe they can share an urban legend that they're familiar with from wherever they're from.
Heck yeah, sounds good.
So anybody want to throw out a state, and I'll go ahead and tell you the one for that state.
Truth Set You Free said Texas, and Prelim said Wisconsin.
All right, we'll do Texas first. Luckily, they are in alphabetical order, so it's not too hard for me to look them up. Texas apparently has the Candy Lady. Texas urban legends about monsters like the help me out here, Armor. The that. Or sites like the Alamo are creepy, sure, but have you heard about the lesser known legend of an evil woman who lures children with candy? Candy left out on the windowsill is meant to lure children so a spectral woman can pull out their teeth, kidnap them, or stab them in the eyes. What's creepier is that the story may have been linked to a real life person named Clara Crane, who killed her husband by poisoning Candy and was later released from an institution. Wow. Have you heard of that one? The person from Texas?
That would be the Truth Set You Free. Vivian, you ever heard of the creepy Candy Lady in Texas?
And what was the other one? The other state?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. This is kind of a short one. It's called the Rhinelander Hodag, an ugly, stumpy critter with a spiked tail. The Hodag features in Paul Bunyan stories and reportedly likes to eat bulldogs.
Likes to eat what? Bulldogs.
Bulldogs, yeah.
Why the bulldogs? Why they gotta mess with the poor dogs?
I don't know. Maybe we should ask Paul Bunyan.
All right, Prelim was the Wisconsin. You ever heard of the whatever he called it? Little hairy guy with the tail?
Yeah, the Hodag. It's Hodag. Rhinelander Hodag.
And Truth Set You Free said no, she ain't never heard of that in Texas.
Huh. Well, maybe this article is just full of crap, huh? I'm just kidding.
All right.
No, I mean they even have at the top of it. It even has like all these like little symbologies and stuff. Here, I'll copy it and I'll put it in the chat so people can bring it up and look at it while we're talking about it if they want to look up a particular one or whatever.
All right, Truth Set You Free says New York, and the phone lines are open if anybody wants to give it a test. Thank you, Michelle. Put the number up.
New York, huh? All right.
New York.
Almost there.
Oh, wow.
New York is the Cropsey, the escaped mental patient with a hook for a hand. That's scary. Would snatch children in Staten Island, but the old legend became horrifyingly real when a killer named Andre Rand was caught in the 1970s.
This call is being recorded.
Ah, that's crazy. All right, Michelle's opinion says Washington, and we do have a caller. Let me know when you're ready.
All right, let's go ahead and take the caller. And I'll look up Washington. I'll have it on standby.
All right, let's hope it works. Area code 210. Hopefully you're on. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hey, we can hear you. Is this
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello, you're on with Hebrew.
Yeah, I hear y'all. I'm just wondering if somebody responds. Can y'all hear me? This is Vivian.
Hi, Vivian. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I
All
can.
right.
I'm actually in my pool with my granddaughter, but I'll tell you.
No, I do have one rule. I'm not trying to cut you off or anything, Vivian, but just one rule. Just please do not hypnotize us. That's all I ask.
I won't hypnotize you tonight, Hebrew.
Oh, okay.
My granddaughter's laughing so hard. Okay, that's very cute. Okay, so let me tell you, the one for Texas. was this old milk factory that was located real close to, I think it was Frat Road in San Antonio. And it was a donkey lady, and she lived out there. And people believed that she lived on this property. She was half donkey, half wood. That was one legend. And then the other one was we had Zules, Z-U-L-E-S, on Zool Road. And people actually
Like, is it
believed
Ghostbusters?
troll men out there. And then the one for New York, because I was raised in New York before I moved here. And that one I'll never forget. That one is another legend where a train had went through these people's car and killed them. And so if you go park on the track, a light supposedly goes through your car. And one more for San Antonio. In San Antonio, we have this huge legend here. And it's where you go and you park your car by these old railroad tracks. And if you put powder on the back of the bumper, supposedly it'll push you over the track. And you can see little fingerprints in the powder later, like the kids. I think it was because it was the kids were killed on a bus. And if you park there, then these children are supposedly pushing your car over. But it's sort of been debunked some. You know, they've had even the Eyewitness News has went out there and stuff. Did I lose y'all?
No, we're just
actually,
listening.
Okay.
I actually remember hearing about that.
I'm out in the pool, and my granddaughter wants to. No, honey, don't do that. She wants to listen in. So, here. So those are some legends that I had from my areas, you know, that I lived. But I never heard of the Candy Lady ever, never. Mm-mm. But I do have something to say about the Lion and the Lamb.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, see, what had happened was it had switched in my Bible differently than it did on the King James Version. And I brought this up on Dan's show a few weeks ago because, and then it was like people had forgotten we talked about it. And I called in about it again, and he was like, no, I don't remember it. And I was like, no, we talked about this. So what it was my Bible used to say just the first sentence was the lion shall lie down with the lamb. And I do agree that the lion was the Lion of Judah. So I guess God to me. And at that, then all this time it switched to the wolf shall dwell with the lamb. Now shall completely disappeared about a month ago on my Bible and went to the wolf will dwell with the lamb. And the King James Version really threw me for a loop because it went to online, the wolf will also dwell with the lamb. And I was listening to what Armor Up said about don't worry, the lion will return. And now I'm 100% sure that it will happen because there was a return of something that I just recently remembered that I talked about last night where, let me try to stay on track, where Looney Tunes to me used to be Tunes, and then it was Looney Too, and my granddaughter actually wants to tell it because she's the one who has her eyes are bugging. You can tell them what you saw on there.
Like I have the DVD of the Looney Tunes and it said TOONS, but now it says TUNES.
Yeah, isn't that
my
crazy?
granddaughter, y'all. Tell them how old you are.
10.
And tell them what do you recognize some changes?
Oh, do you remember that one about that Christmas song where it says we won't go until we got some?
Ah.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my granddaughter is very smart, 10-year-old. She said she spotted that one. So, but yeah. So as far as the lion and the lamb thing, what did you make out about the also in there? Because I remember Fizzy had made a comment that who else, but I wonder why they're saying also as well.
Well, I think it's a good sign myself because that means there's something else dwelling too. If the wolf's also dwelling, well, then that's maybe the lion's also dwelling now too. Something else must be dwelling if the wolf is also
I was
dwelling.
thinking more of course there was a negative feeling that came over me But until you had commented, that I guess it has been always dwelling, but really sort of like maybe the Bible is like living, and it's telling us stuff. Although I do believe, like Armor Up, that the Bible is something to pay attention to, but it's not really going to be who you are inside. I believe for me is how I completely 100% connect on a daily basis with God in my heart, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
So what do you make of the donkey lady? Have y'all ever heard of her? We switch from God to the donkey lady.
I've heard of the kids pushing the car across the tracks, though, because of the school bus thing. I've definitely seen that on a show before, and about putting the powder on the trunk and all that. That one I heard of, but no, I never heard of the other ones.
Well, I've got some scary stories with that. My brother and his friends terrorized my childhood. Okay, so the first one was they put me on the tracks and jumped out of the car while the car rolled. Now, the reason the car rolls is because it's an illusion. It's like if you're looking at the road, it looks like the road goes up. But if you're far away, the road actually goes down. So that's where it's sort of debunked. But when I was around, 10, 11 years old, my brother and his friends jumped out of the front of the Pinto station wagon and left me in the back as it went over the tracks on my own. And then one night, they took me out to where Donkey Lady was, but they put my friend Roy out there first and didn't tell me that they had somebody out there. And so as we pull in our car, Roy comes up with fake blood on his face, beating on the windows of the car, screaming, "Let me in, let me in." And I'm thinking, don't open the door, And so I had some legend terrorizing done to me as a 60s, 70s child. You say that's funny?
I know that feeling.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, this has been great listening, and I just wanted to call in and throw a few at y'all of the legends, and so
yeah, appreciate
I don't know if they're real.
Definitely appreciate it. Help us
Thank
test the signs, and yeah, it's interesting hearing the other legends that you know about in your own little area. So, anyone else wants to call in? We did have someone on hold. I don't know what happened to them, but if anyone else wants to call in, call back in.
I'm gonna put the phone down, and I'm gonna let my listen on my other phone until it dies out, while me and my granddaughter just swim until it gets dark. So say bye to them.
Goodbye, random people of the world.
Goodbye. Have a great day.
Okay.
And don't forget, Jesus loves you very much.
Okay. Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, thanks.
All right, so Washington is the caddy of Cadboro Bay. While the legendary Bigfoot gets a great deal of attention in this state, you might not have heard of Caddy, short for Cadborosaurus, the local sea monster hanging out in Cadboro Bay. And then I saw in chat, Eddie Von King said that the El Chupacabra is real. I'm not from there, so I had never heard of the El Chupacabra.
I actually,
Go ahead, Hebrew.
well, I actually watched an Unsolved Mysteries show about the Chupacabra. Am I saying that correctly?
Correct. Yeah, and while she was on the line, I looked it up on Wikipedia, but you go ahead and say what you know.
It's supposedly like this spiky, scaled creature with red glowing eyes, and that comes out of the woods only at night. I mean, that's from watching Unsolved Mysteries. I mean, that's all and it was a really old show. I think it was like in the 90s or something where they talked about it, but I don't think it was in Texas though that they were talking about. I could be mistaken.
Well, it's Spanish, and Texas has a lot of Spanish folklore, I presume. But it literally translates to chupar, to suck, and cabra, goat. So it's basically means goat sucker.
Yeah, the episode I saw, I think people were getting a lot of mutilated cows and other animals, and it had like claw marks and stuff like that, and they were trying to basically say that the chupacabra was responsible for all that, and that's what. But I mean, you can't take anything you see on Unsolved Mysteries at face value, but it's definitely an interesting show. If you go back and look at it, all the episodes are on YouTube, so you can.
Well, it must be a significant urban legend to make it on there. So it must be something that definitely gets talked about a lot. And
Basically,
apparently, there's lots of animals that are reported having their livestock having their blood drained and being mutilated, like you said. Somebody's got to be responsible. Go ahead, Armor.
I was going to say it's basically as big as Bigfoot in Mexico and that region. You know what I mean? The Spanish speaking region. Chupacabra is basically as big as their Bigfoot, or our Bigfoot, I mean. So yeah, it's a very big legend, no doubt. Chupacabras, yeah, it's been talked about for a while.
Originated in Puerto Rico. Eddie Von King mentions that as well. Half alien, half bird, they say. Or Eddie Von King says.
If you've seen pictures of it, it actually kind of resembles a gremlin in a way.
I could see that. Spike or Stripe, right?
Like a wild looking, ugly type dog creature. That's what I always thought, with red eyes.
Yeah, I think of the Land of the Lost People. I don't know if you guys remember that show.
The Slee Stacks.
Yeah.
But I had 2 cents about the whole Looney Tunes, Tiny Toons thing is from what I always remember TUNES tunes, because when the show originally started, they originally started out with Merry Melodies, and for some reason when they went and they did the Tiny Toons show, they spelled the TOONS, and I think they did that to differentiate, saying that wrong, redifferentiate from Looney Tunes is why they changed the title to TOONS when they did that show. But that's just me. I mean, that's what I remember.
Gotcha. Are you guys there?
Yep, I'm eating pie.
All right.
Sounds good. Wait, what kind is it?
Amish made strawberry pie.
That does sound good.
Oh, man, I love me some strawberry pie. You know what I like, though? I like strawberry pie, but what I like better than strawberry pie is strawberry cheesecake. Just saying.
It all sounds good to me. All right. So anybody else got a state they want me to look up? Oh, caller.
Hey.
Saved by the bell.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, 432, you're on.
I think that's Mr. Jocko.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, good. I was calling in. I called in about the same time Michelle called in, and I was hanging on, and I had to do something else. So anyway, so is your phone system working, I guess?
Seems to be.
Good.
What do we got?
Hey, listen, I had something.
Jocko.
I was watching Raiders of the Lost Ark a couple of weeks ago on TV, And in the scene where Indy was chasing Marion because she was being kidnapped in that basket, and they were running through the streets, I guess.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that scene where she's hiding in the wicker basket.
Yes, Well, he runs into Indy runs into an alley, and he startles a black and white cat. My question is, I've never seen this cat before. Just popped out of nowhere to me, and I was just wondering how y'all felt about it.
Yeah.
But I get to see the scene.
It's one of those scenes though that you could easily forget, but at the same time, I don't remember it from originally watching it. But I did just recently watch that movie. I don't know, about 2 or 3 months ago, because it was available on Netflix to watch, and I do vaguely remember parts, not just that part, but different parts of the movie. I was noticing that I didn't remember quite a few of the scenes, but that one in particular, yeah, I know the one you're talking about. And when he runs into the alley, and then that it's a black and white cat, right?
A black and white cat I had never seen before, and it just jumped out like a sore thumb to me. So that's why I was just mentioning it.
Wait a minute. Let me just do this real quick. Just real quick.
You don't remember a cat.
Mr. Jocko? This is Mr. Jocko, right?
Yes, this is, yes.
Well, I got something for you. Listen to this. I just
Yeah, there you go again.
Yeah.
I know Eddie's texting right now.
Yeah.
I'm away from my right now.
Eddie always calls you Hannibal.
Eddie just said my A-team brother, LOL.
Okay. Anyway, that's all I really had. I was just.
Do you know any urban legends there, Jocko?
Well, the chupacabra is kind of well known around here. The Llorona was a big one here when we were kids.
Tell us that one.
It was well, apparently the story would be that a lady died, her kids drowned, or she drowned the kids in a ditch, and you can see her at night as a ghost floating around the ditch, calling out their names.
Ooh.
And
it seems like almost all of these urban legends somehow have something dastardly behind them, you know?
Yeah.
There's never a good urban legend like about a lady that saves all the puppies in town or something.
Oh, no. Well, there was a movie about the Llorona. I never saw it, but I saw billboards last month advertising the movie La Llorona. But I guess Hollywood, they'll change it up.
All right. Well, thanks for calling. Did you have anything else?
No, that was really it, and I appreciate y'all taking my call.
And what state are you from, Jocko?
Texas, West Texas.
Okay, well, we already looked that one up, but have a great rest of your evening, and thank you for calling.
Thanks.
All right, take care.
Have a good night. Always good to talk to Jocko, I tell you.
Yep, definitely. It's cool hearing about the urban legends from the other places, too. So I got one since, hopefully we'll get another. We might want to share one, but one around here, local. I live near Racetown Lake in Pennsylvania. It's a man-made lake. I remember when they built it. And there's a creature, and this was actually on an episode of, what was it called? Fact or Fiction or something like that. I forget, but it was actually on TV. We got like the Loch Ness Monster. We have what's called Racetown Ray. Supposedly a Loch Ness Monster type creature that's been spotted. There's pictures of it. They came and investigated and all that stuff. But yeah, Racetown Ray, that's a local legend around here.
It seems like they do have like a like they're almost named like racehorses, you know? Like they got like a catchy surname or action verb and then their name, you know?
Right.
Somebody in the comments S, I guess, am I reading that right?
Lowercase s, yeah.
Yeah, he says, what about Colorado? And Colorado has Riverdale Road, another RR one. And Riverdale Road is home to a host of legends. While traveling down the road during a full moon, one can see the hanging bodies of slaves on the trees. They have their own lady in white, but one section of road led to a mansion that contained a satanic cult. The gate to hell itself is reportedly inside the chicken coop. That's what it says. I don't make this stuff up.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So in other words, I don't want to go get the eggs out of that chicken coop. I'm just saying. Someone else is going to have to do it.
Don't want to eat them eggs. Michelle says about Washington State.
Washington State.
SS, you ever heard of that weird one from that state, Colorado?
All right, Washington. I already read that one. That was the caddy of Cadboro Bay. Maybe I read it before she got here, but I'll read it again. The legendary Bigfoot gets a great deal of attention in that state, but the caddy of Cadboro Bay for Cadborosaurus is a local sea monster that hangs out in Cadboro Bay. Have you heard of that one, Michelle? And if anybody has one they want to share, feel free to call. We'd love to hear about it.
Call in. Those lines are open and ready. Anyone wants to share that or anything?
Yeah, anything for that matter.
I got a question.
All right.
What about the one you didn't say it on here, but we mentioned it? I thought it was kind of funny. The one about Kentucky. Could you mention that one?
Yeah. Give me a moment. All right, Kentucky. The Kentucky Goblins. The Kelly Hobsonville encounter was a supposed extraterrestrial appearance of small goblin-like green hairless children with 3 toes. Not 4, not 5, 3. While most skeptics easily dismiss them as owls, there have been a new wave of recent sightings of them on the other side of Kentucky.
You know what's crazy about that is the 3-toe thing, because if you ever watch the ghosty type shows and a lot of that, usually they'll get scratched and they'll have 3 scratches. So
yeah,
but that was sort of interesting.
That's true.
Michelle said she's never heard of that, but she's going to Trout Lake and wants to know when they run. So thanks.
Well, Maine has an interesting one. It's Colonel Buck's tomb. A lot of people may have heard of that. I don't know. I've never heard of it. After a woman became pregnant with Colonel Buck's son, he forced her out to take care of the babe alone, later having her burned as a witch. The son ran off with the witch's leg that had rolled out of the bonfire. He later cursed the colonel's tomb, which now bears the stain of a leg. Despite several attempts to clean, replace, or remove the stain, it still exists.
Yeah, cool. Hey, and SS says the New York one, that sounds a lot like, or not the New York, the Maine one, I think it was you read. with the three-toed kid.
Donna,
That's Plum Island. So yeah, that definitely sounds like they could have come from Plum Island.
Donna asked about Georgia.
Georgia. The cursed pillar. After a preacher was told he couldn't deliver a sermon next to the pillar, he declared that the whole town would be destroyed, and the pillar would be the only thing left standing. A freak tornado later destroyed most of Augusta, leaving the pillar still standing. That sounds like a prophetic preacher there.
You know, it's interesting that you'd bring up the three-toe things. You bring up the scratches. It's always three scratches. It's always three toes. And what's the witching hour? The witching hour is like 3 a.m, right?
Give or take a few. Yep.
Yep. Basically.
So let me ask you this.
Three is definitely very important to the occult, to the enemy workers, whatever they want to call them, be it the witches or the Satanists or the Luciferians. Or, yeah, 3 is a very important number. They love mocking the Trinity. So 3 is
Three. It's the magic number.
I see. Yeah, I was just going to ask you if there's a significance with the number 3, because that seems like you just answered my question. So there you go.
Yep.
Well, Eddie Von Keene said in the 1800s, he believes it was in Kentucky. And I think I remember hearing about this weird thing before too. It like rained meat for a 4-mile area. Like meat just fell from the sky.
Oh, wow. That's weird. Do you guys remember the one where fish fell from the sky? Now that one, to me, the logic behind that would be the water evaporating into the sky, but I really don't see that much water evaporating so that it would rain fish, but I guess it's possible. They said that's actually a true story.
Yeah, I think the fish rain, I heard about that too, because there was actually an octopus supposedly that was filmed. It showed an octopus. When I seen it, the clip, the thumbnail thing was an octopus in the sky flying. But supposedly that was from a, what do you call it when it's a tornado over the water, or tsunami, or not a tsunami, whatever it is, like a giant water tornado thing.
Monsoon?
No, it's like a tornado. I forget what it's called.
Not a hurricane, is it?
I don't know. But either way, cyclone, there's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Eddie. Yeah, a water cyclone basically was so powerful, it picked the fish up and threw them inland. Supposedly is what happened there. I don't know.
Now, what's the deal of the meat thing? Was it like what I'm picturing in my head is like packaged meats, like steak and and sausages and stuff like that? But I'm sure that's not what it was. What kind of meat was it exactly? Do you know?
Well, I think, and again, I'm just going by what I think I remember hearing about this, because I know I heard about it. And I think their explanation was, no, I'm just giving you the explanations that they use. Of course, we know they usually just lie. But I think it was had something to do with either a meat processing plant that butchered the animals, exploded or something or other, and again, threw the meat into the air, which caused it to rain. But I don't know. Eddie says the experts said it was vultures regurgitating it up. I didn't hear that one, but I did hear something about supposedly there was an explosion and it was so powerful it just threw meat 4 miles.
A meat explosion.
Yeah, like a meat packing plant or something.
Huh. That reminds me of a meme I saw on Facebook about a semi truck full of that worked for ramen noodle company had an accident and ramen noodles like got dispersed all over the expressway like a big mess. And the meme said that the ramen noodle company is out $32.65. worth of damages.
Yeah, that's hilarious. It did happen once here, though. Actually, I remember I was probably like pre-teens, maybe early teens, and me and my dad would always go over a mountain to an auction, and they had a sharp curve on it. And one time we went over there, a meat truck had tractor trailer full of like frozen meat. Went over on its side, and there was just meat scattered everywhere, sausage and burger and meat everywhere. People were gathering it up because there was no way to save it. The trucker was like, "Well, you might as well gather it up because it's froze. And another truck will never be in here in time to keep it froze." So yeah, people was just gathering up meat. There was meat everywhere.
Well, speaking of meat and urban legends and everything, there's this video that's gone viral on YouTube the past 48 to 72 hours. I saw it yesterday, and I just put a link to it in Hangouts. I didn't know if you'd be willing to present it. It's about meat. It's about this chicken on a plate that starts moving.
Oh yeah, I think I seen that. Hebrew, you going to present it? Sort of hard for me to do the calls and present.
Are you able to, Hebrew? I haven't heard from Hebrew in a while.
Oh, wait. Yeah. What was that again? I'm sorry.
There's a link in Hangouts.
Okay. Let me get it.
All right. In the meantime, I'll share this one about Illinois.
Let's see here. Go to present. Well,
Okay, never mind.
Let me get it up here. Oh boy. I don't know if I want to do this or not.
It's kind of scary. Don't make sure you turn the volume down.
Let's see. How do I do this again? Click that off. Get off of that. Let me put myself on mute. You guys go ahead and talk about more urban legends. And
all right, yeah. All right. Okay. So Illinois has ghost elephants, apparently. Let me clear my glasses off here.
That sounds good.
See if I can read this. A real-life 1918 train wreck of circus cars leading to Troop's death has polarized the legend that elephants had to be buried where they fell. Now, supposedly, the circus still takes place at night in Woodlawn Cemetery. That really doesn't make any sense to me, but...
Wait, read that again. I missed something there.
All right, yeah. I feel like the whoever wrote this left out a sentence because they mentioned the cemetery at the end, but not in any other part of it. A real-life 1918 train wreck of circus cars leading to Troop's death has popularized the legend that elephants had to be buried where they fell when the train crashed. Now, supposedly, the circus still takes place at night in Woodlawn Cemetery, which I guess is close to where the train wreck happened. I suppose I'm speculating.
Oh, okay. So basically, they're saying that elephants come back to life at night and do their act.
Yeah, and do their act.
I could believe they'd have to be buried where they fell. You wouldn't be dragging an elephant around too far without a lot of heavy equipment.
Yeah, especially back in 1918.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but it's a video. How do I can't show a video.
You can play it. It's only a minute long, and it's going viral. Everybody and their brother's sharing it. Just don't do the audio.
Turn the audio on?
Off.
So how do I... Okay. Let me... Oh, boy. All right. You're going to see Hangouts, though. Let's see.
You open it in a whole different window, not a different tab. Whatever you want to present, you use a whole different window for it. Never a different tab.
Uh-oh. Okay.
And then you go to present, and then you'll pick application window, and then you'll pick that window.
Hit this window. Full screen. Let's see. Whoops.
Yeah, that's the wrong window. We might end up getting took over here.
Let's see. Can you guys? Whoa, 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 whoa. There's that. Okay.
Okay.
Can everybody see that?
Yep.
All right. Let me turn the sound off.
You're not on the right video, though.
This is the one you sent me. Yeah, check it out.
Probably a commercial.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Here's. You should have got it. What are we? What the hell?
I don't know what that is. Okay, here it is. Here's the meat. See, look at that.
Oh my God. That's wild. It just jumped right off the plate, man.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Can
you imagine seeing that?
Okay.
I mean, I know like fish sometimes still have a little twitch in them when you catch them live, but I never seen chicken that could keep going.
Hope I don't get copyright.
Have you seen that, Armor?
Yeah, I think I did see that video a while back when it came out.
Yeah,
it's probably fake, but yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, I don't know how real it is, but it's making its rounds again. And since we were talking about meat falling from the sky, I figured I'd share.
Yeah, that was the subject.
Owner of that video doesn't like, because we showed his face and everything.
I think he'll be all right. He shows it on his video, so it's not like he's shy or bashful.
True. But yeah, okay. That was creepy. That thing what was that supposed to be? A chicken?
Yeah, it was raw chicken.
And it jumped off the plate?
Yep.
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. I guess so. I guess oh man, when you talk about not being quite done yet, huh?
Yeah. Slightly undercooked.
Slightly. Yeah, it's putting it mildly. So, are we getting any more? This is a call-in show. If anybody wants to call in, if not, we could talk about more.
Michelle's awesome. She's keeping the number out there for us. So thank you.
Yes, she is. Lots of love for Michelle.
I don't know why she's not calling to talk with
Yeah,
us,
she should call. It's not like she doesn't know the number.
Right?
Eddie Von Keen said that chicken jumped off the plate because it wanted to get to the other side.
Oh. Well, that makes perfect sense then. Or maybe it was just trying to get there before the egg.
Right? That thing was running around like a chicken with its head cut off.
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
Oh man, that was crazy.
I wonder why we don't have viewers. Who knows?
All right, so with the Missouri has a zombie road, in case you guys didn't know.
Oh, zombie road in Missouri. That sounds good.
Stories about strange deaths along the road as far back as Native American times. And drownings in the nearby river made it a fun haunted spot for teenagers for decades. But many of them have perished in strange accidents too. Today, dark shadows follow you here, seen only out of the corners of your eye.
Ah, the old shadow people.
Yep.
Well, they're not in Minnesota anymore. They
And
spread out.
Montana has the Phantom Hitchhiker of Black Horse Lake. That in itself is legendary. Just the title.
Yeah,
Very.
everyone heard of the Phantom Hitchhiker. I mean, we've even got that legend around here.
I mean, I saw Pee Wee Herman's Great Adventures. Come on.
Really? Right.
Yeah.
A
Eddie says,
native. Oh, go ahead.
after you do that, when I said Eddie said Dakota, so I guess north and south.
Okay. A Native American man with long black hair wearing an outdated baggy jacket and jeans collides with cars, suddenly appearing on their windshield, only for him to vanish without a dent. He's also been known to hitch a ride and chase cars at inhumane speeds.
What, man? I'd be freaking out. I'm driving my truck down the road and a dude appears on my windshield. I'd be.
I know, right? I had a duck land on my windshield once, or a goose when I was driving. Scared the crap out of me. Yeah, it was flying in the air and it crash landed into my windshield.
I've had a close turkey before.
Maybe he wanted you to buy insurance.
Yeah.
Did it say Geico when it went by?
No, it didn't. It didn't say Geico or Aflac.
Oh, I was getting ready to say Aflac.
Aflac. Hey, Michelle said she's not going to call because Hebrew's mad at her. So why you be
Okay.
so?
What?
We'll just blame Hebrew then.
Way to
All
go!
right, we're gonna start with South Dakota.
Wait. Hold on. What does she think I'm mad at her for?
I don't know. We have a request for the Dakotas.
I don't know. You guys will have to settle that on your own time.
I don't know. Wait a minute. I'm not mad at her. What?
Plus, I mean, it's pretty obvious that you wear your heart on your sleeve there, Hebrew. You wouldn't be able to act like you weren't mad at her if you were, that's for sure.
I know, right?
She said she watched the wrong movie.
Oh. No, it's what I said was, if you want to really get to know He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, the thing to watch is the cartoon, because that movie is not a true representative of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. It was cheaply made and not very good. Not to say I don't enjoy it. I enjoy it for different reasons. I enjoy it for the camp value, but I wasn't mad at her for that.
You mean they made an actual live people movie?
Yeah, Dolph Lundgren played He-Man.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a total failure at the box office.
Yeah, it was cheaply made. It was made by was that company? The same company that made Superman 4, Quest for Peace.
But I heard that they're actually putting together a cast to remake another He-Man that should come out in 2021.
Do what now?
They're making a new He-Man movie.
Yeah, that's been in the process. It's been entangled with legal battles for the last 10 years now. Sony bought the rights to Masters Universe, and then they ended up losing the rights because there was a statute of limitations put on the rights of so many years, and they waited too long because they couldn't get the right actors or the right script or whatever, for whatever reason. They
casted He-Man, so they've casted him, and they're getting ready to start shooting in like the next 6 months. I just saw this like the past 4 or 5 days.
Really?
Yeah.
They said something about they were going to cancel the project, so that's news to me. That's good to hear.
Yeah, I'll send you the link later. I'm sure I'll be able to find it in my history. It's not that old.
All right, cool.
But South Dakota has Walking Sam, a 7-foot-tall specter whose job is to collect the souls of suicide victims, stalks lonely depressed adolescents. Perhaps he's an explanation of the alarmingly high suicide rate in the area or the recent attempts at mass suicide. I didn't know South Dakota had an issue with suicide, but apparently it does.
Walking sand creatures?
Walking Sam.
Oh, I thought you said walking sand creatures. Sorry, my brain's on Star Wars now.
All right, North Dakota has a really short one here. The Mini Washitu. That's easy for you to say. The
Bless
red
you.
bison. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Bless you.
Oh yeah. The red bison like water, the red bison like water monster of the Missouri River travels upstream to break ice. Anyone who sees it alone in the daytime will go insane. You see it at nighttime, it's okay, but in the daytime, you're going crazy, my friend.
You're going to go nuts.
Hey, what about Illinois? You got anything on Illinois?
Illinois. I thought I read Illinois, but maybe, all these states start to run together. Let me look it up again. Yeah, Illinois was ghost elephants. I did that earlier. It was the one with the circus elephants.
Oh, I must have been in the bathroom when you did that one.
All right.
Well,
Well, apparently there's these elephants, right?
okay. Yeah,
they're in a train wreck, a circus train wrecks, and back in 1918, they left the elephants alive where they buried them where they fell, and now supposedly the circus takes place at night in the local cemetery.
well,
Greg said that's why he mostly comes out at night. That way he don't go crazy.
I concur.
that's when I go my craziest is at night.
Right? And an urban legend, Tail Fest wouldn't be complete without an axe murderer, right?
Right? Yeah.
Of course,
Yep.
yeah, you can do an axe murder.
So in Iowa, they have the Villisca Axe Murder House. Based on real events, this 1912 cold case features a whole family, 2 parents, 4 children, and 2 house guests. Man, they chose the wrong night to come for a visit, didn't they? Being bludgeoned to death in their sleep. Since then, the house has been the source of odd paranormal activity, such as a ghost hunter stabbing himself in the chest in 2014.
What?
Yep, that's
Really?
what happened. Yeah.
Huh. Sounds like
I can't believe New York's isn't Amityville Horror House. How could
I
that
know,
not
right?
be legend?
Did I read New York? I think I did. I just can't remember it.
New York, yeah.
Well, Nebraska has radioactive hornets.
I can believe that.
This is a recent urban legend, not no 1812 stuff. After the Fukushima nuclear disaster, the locals of Nebraska believed that mutant hornets from that area had grown to 4 times their normal size and were running rampant locally. I don't think that they could be.
Well-
I don't think that's something you would get wrong. Like if you see a giant hornet, you see a giant hornet. It's not like you would say, "Oh, that's a giant hornet," and it's just really a regular sized hornet, right?
I heard tell that New York legend you told wasn't the only legend. I heard tell that there were giant teenage mutant ninja turtles living in the sewers in New York.
I have heard something about that.
Oh, and also they like pizza a lot. I'm just saying. That's what I heard.
And they like to surf or skateboard or something too, right?
I believe so. I believe that's correct.
Okay.
And in Springfield, of course, we know there's the 3-eyed fish.
Well, in Virginia, they have the Bunny Man. He sounds pleasant enough, friendly enough.
Oh
He
no,
probably can't hurt nobody. A Bunny Man from Virginia, right?
I don't know. That bunny man from that, what movie was that? That was awfully scary.
Which one?
Was that being John Malkovich? Was that the one?
I'm not familiar with it.
There was a
But
giant bunny man with like black eyes in the movie.
huh.
I forget what the name of the movie is. Maybe the chat could help me.
Well, in Virginia, the Bunny Man comes out on Halloween. Halloween, many years ago, a bus of transferring asylum inmates crashed. Man, you know you're having a bad day when the asylum inmates crash. With one of the inmates escaping for years, skinned, half-eaten rabbits were found hanging from the trees near Bunny Bridge, even after the supposed culprit died. Eventually, he allegedly attacked humans too, leaving bodies strung up over the bridge.
Oh, I just remembered where the bunny man's from. The bunny man is from Johnny Darko, I believe.
Okay, Johnny Darko. I don't know that I've seen that.
Eddie Von Keen is asking what state the Mothman is, and I believe that's New Jersey, isn't it?
That is correct.
Yeah, it could be. The Mothman's another famous one.
You
And in this article, New Jersey is known for the ghost boy of Clinton Road. Hiding under one bridge of Clinton Road is a ghost boy. But don't worry, he's pretty nice and helpful. If you throw a coin into the river, he'll return it to you. Finally, a nice urban legend.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, I got corrected, by the way. It's Donnie Darko, not Johnny Darko. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you, dude.
No, I was done.
Okay.
Well, even Hawaii's got an urban legend. Deadly ghosts of ancient Hawaiian warriors march over the waters, chanting and blowing conch shells. If you hear them, run. If you're on an island like Hawaii, you're not getting away if some ghost starts chasing you, right?
Yeah, where are you going to run to? Just keep lapping the island? I don't know.
Yeah.
Hide in the coconut, like a giant coconut. Like go find a nice coconut suit, and then or make you one. I guess you could make one out of coconuts, and then just like hide in one. That wouldn't be suspicious at all.
I tell you what, I remember when I was a kid, I saw this movie about King Tut's tomb, and they had gotten the tomb out of the out of Egypt or whatever, and they were transporting it. I forget what they were on, a plane or a train or whatever, but
An automobile.
huh?
No, you said plane train, and I said automobile.
Oh yeah, and anyway, in the movie, whenever he was getting ready to like take his next victim or whatever, you would hear his heartbeat like the doom 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 doom, and that freaked me. I mean, it was just a stupid little scary movie when I was a kid, but that movie gave me nightmares forever. That's my own personal urban legend. Even to this day, I don't think I would ever go anywhere near. Like if King's Tut exhibit came to town, I would be the last guy to show up to come see it.
You know, when they examined King Tut's tomb, there's been a lot of stories about guys who examined it and died.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what the whole movie was about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they either died or they got stuck down there and somehow ended up dying anyway, but yeah.
All right, well, I'm kind of running low on these. I mean, I think I covered about half the states. I can do the whole list if you guys really want me to.
Well, there's like 52 states, so go ahead. See what I did there?
Yes. All right, so we have Wyoming. I'll start at the bottom. Through thick mist, usually in February, a ship can be sailing the Platte River. Its phantom crew frosted over on the deck. You'll allegedly see the body of someone you know or yourself. Either way, the person's death will come soon. The Platte River ship.
The Platte River ship. Michelle said California.
All right. Almost there. California, the Dark Watchers. Features dark silhouettes, featureless dark silhouettes, often with brimmed hats or walking sticks, stare down travelers during twilight and dawn in the Santa Lucia Mountains. John Steinbeck's briefly mentioned them in Flight. They should not be addressed or acknowledged. Flight is in parentheses. I'm assuming it's a movie.
Steinbeck was a big author.
Okay.
Back in the, I forget when, 30s maybe, 40s, 18. I don't know. He's an old author, American author.
Gotcha. Arkansas has Dog Boy. A werewolf-like ghost walks on all fours and haunts his childhood home. This myth is based on the sad story of a real man, Gerald Bettis, who is rumored to experiment on stray animals and reportedly abused his elderly parents.
I mean to interrupt you while you're going through the states or anything, but
No, go right ahead.
I have one quick question. This came up to me the other night, and when I was watching Mandela Monday, and they were bringing up all the foods. One food that caught my eye, it was either yesterday or the day before that. Let me ask you guys, and I'll ask the guys in chat this, but I'll ask you guys this right now. How would you spell raspberry?
You asking me? Are you asking me?
Well, you're the only one standing there, so no.
No, the raspberry is a weird one. Yeah, it's got a silent P in it. You don't say raspberry,
Right.
but it is spelled with a P.
Okay.
I agree with that, with the P.
So that one is correct then.
Yes.
Well, Eddie Von Keen says no P. Michelle says with a P. SS is no P.
What I looked up also yesterday, not only does, in my recollection, that it never have a P in it, but it didn't have the Y at the end either. It was Berrie.
Well, that's plural.
Yeah, when you plural it, it goes IE.
Really?
Yeah. Same with strawberries.
Oh yeah.
Y you change to an IE when you make it a plural.
Sure. But I definitely don't remember the P being there. But like you said, it's a silent P, and I'm not a very good speller, so I can't really say either way. But it just seemed a little off to me, like raspberry.
I mean, it'd be like if cutting a raspberry with a knife, you know?
Yeah, a knife. True. That's not a knife. This is a knife.
So, does it still have a P now, or it doesn't?
Yeah,
as far as I know, it still has the P.
It's got the P in it. It's got P in it. It's got P in it, okay? Boy, that one sunk.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
So what's going on in chat? Have we lost our whole audience yet?
I believe we have, what, 9?
All right.
Yeah, they're still hanging tough. We're talking about Steinbeck, me and Eddie, actually, about the book reader. Yeah, he was. I remember having to read him in English class. I forget which one we read.
Huh.
Michelle says maybe we're in the process of losing the P.
That could be.
What were I on it?
So Eddie Von King, we would like you to call in, my man. The number is right there on your screen. We're not putting you on the spot or anything, but we're putting you
No.
on the spot.
He's not putting you on the spot, but he is putting you on the spot. Just saying. You know, there's another thing that I just now thought of is there's something, a message in there somewhere about losing our letters and gaining new letters also, and the letters touching together. The letters touching together seems like it would be somewhere along the lines of like, not quite sure what the message is there yet, but I'll have something for our next show about the message touching message about the letters touching together as we're all coming together to join together somehow. But I'm thinking of that off the top of my head. See that right there, you know, that's how you know when it's not the Holy Spirit talking to me, when it's just me talking off the top of my head about stuff, because I'm not that bright about stuff, coming up with that synopsis. So I'll throw it back to you, Sag.
All right. Well, you guys know I live in Florida, and in Florida they have the Devil's Chair. I've never heard of this one, but I've honestly only lived in Florida for a couple of years, so maybe it's maybe that's why. But the Casa Daga spiritualist camp is full of odd ghosts. But one chair, supposedly, is a favorite for the big cheese himself. According to local lore, if you sit in it, he'll whisper horrible things in your ear, forever changing you. And if you leave a beer on his chair overnight, he'll drink it. Sometimes, even if the can is still sealed.
Okay, now I got to know, does he open the can and drink it, or is it still sealed and empty?
That's a good question. It doesn't specify.
Interesting to know.
I would say that he probably opens it and drinks it. But if you leave it unopened, he opens it himself. That's where I'm going with that. I don't know this for a fact. I'm merely speculating. I think it's the night watchman. Just saying.
Yeah. Gets a little thirsty. Hey, there's a beer.
Yeah. He's probably the guy telling the dang story every day to everybody, seeing if they're dumb enough to leave him a beer.
Yeah. Go drink it.
Yeah.
Delaware has the corpse light. There's no lighthouse in Cape Henneopen, but there is a phantom light. It crashed the ship Devonshire Man on Christmas of 1665, and more than 200 men died. Allegedly, the light is a curse from a local Native American tribe after British soldiers slaughtered attendees at a wedding ceremony. So it's a curse.
So basically a fake lighthouse to draw the ships in. Interesting.
Yep. And this one I've heard of. The first one on the list that I've actually heard of, Connecticut Annabelle, the demonic doll.
Oh yeah,
Oh
everybody.
yeah.
The demonic doll in The Conjuring and Annabelle is inspired by a real life Raggedy Ann doll,
Mhm.
supposedly inhabited by the spirit of a dead girl, which was given to two demonologists, Ed and Lorraine Warren, after some extremely malicious paranormal activity.
It was actually demonic. They thought it was a dead girl at first, and then it turned out to be a demonic entity uh, hanging on to the Raggedy Ann doll. And every time I pass by a store or pass by an antique shop and it has a Raggedy Ann doll, I stay far, far away as possible from that damn thing because I don't know. Maybe I'm superstitious. I don't know.
No, my mom had a Raggedy Ann doll because she was a redheaded woman, so someone had bought it for her. And I remember as a kid thinking it was just a little. The eyes on it were kind of. I mean, we did that whole haunted dolls thing. You guys know how I feel about that. It's not my thing.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Armor did a whole thing on that on one of the Shifty Sundays. I think so, right?
Yeah, we did a whole. We did like the last hour of our show. We looked up haunted dolls. Remember?
Oh
There was
yeah.
some creepy looking doll.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I've had my fill of haunted dolls. All right, I don't see any too many I haven't covered already.
All right. So you know what that means.
Uh.
And well, it means that I guess I don't know. What do you all right. What did you want to talk about before we came on the show besides the thing that the thing you've been talking about the whole time?
That's really all I had for tonight's show. I'm working on stuff for future shows, but I don't have anything else for tonight's show.
Are we still gonna do the Macho Madness Monday?
We can.
I just hope,
You want to try to do it in the afternoon or after Dan's show again?
I think we got more views if we did it after Dan's show. Remember?
Yep, I'm all for it.
All right, cool.
We'll start it like maybe like when they get about halfway into their mandanimals.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because they pretty much end the show after they do the man animals.
Yep.
Really, all I wanted to talk about. There was one other thing I wanted to talk about, but I want to make sure proper research is done on it first. But since I've already opened my mouth up, I was going to talk about. Well, let me do some more research first, and then I'll see if I want to talk about it or not. Maybe next show, or maybe on Monday night show we'll talk about it.
Yep, that's our teaser for Monday night show. Tune in Monday to find out what Hebrew is going to research.
There you go. We'll talk about. Well, I won't say it. Yeah, we'll just leave it there.
All right, you want to do a final shout out there, Armor?
All right, we'll do. Thanks everybody for calling in. That did. Eddie Vaughn with a wrench. I'm getting connected with someone. SS. Michelle's opinions with a wrench. Jocko R with a wrench. Oiler Greg in the house. Salted's here. He said he was kicking back and listening though, but I know he's still hanging around. The good old Salted Cedar. Donna here. I think that's about everybody that's here. We had Jenny Purr earlier, but I think that's everyone. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for you guys that code in. Help us test out the system. Seems to be working good.
If you're new, like and subscribe.
No, I did invite Fizzy Pop to come in. She said she would jump in if she could. I said, "Well, you could jump in whenever you're ready." But she had previous engagement. She had something to do. She said she might come in, but so that's all right though. Maybe we'll invite her in the next week's show, or maybe Monday. No, we can't do it Monday show. Shit, what am I thinking? No, but we can. Hey, E-Man's in here.
Yeah, hey.
You think maybe E-Man might want to call in? Or did you already shut it off?
No, it's still open.
You want to give it like a few minutes, see if maybe he might want to call in. We could talk about other stuff. We talk about the meaning of something. We can talk about the sun some more if you want to, if we haven't covered it enough. He said he's calling. While he's doing that, I'll just go ahead and we'll hang in there for a little bit longer, and we'll let him call in. And God's Armor, you got it?
Yeah, it's open.
Cool. We'll give him a few minutes, because I always like it when he calls. And he has some pretty good calls. He always has something interesting to say.
Yeah, maybe he'll have and then he can show it.
So with that being said, I'll just hang tight. Sag, what do you think?
I'm here for the ride. It sounds good to me. I hope he calls. The number's out there for him, right?
Yep.
Should be. So, me and E-Man, I like him. We used to do some shows, some live streams together. It was me, him, and we were all on, I think it was Cowboy's channel. I'm not sure. It might have been Cowboy or Jason or one of those guys. But we used to have some pretty good shows, and they used to go a long time. They used to go about 5 or 6 hours at a time, and then some of us would be falling off to sleep, and you could hear good old E-Man like in the background, snoring away sometimes. Those
What
were
you guys used to talk about.
anything that came to mind. I mean, anything and everything. E-Man's aware of the Father's love and talks about it. He's a sort of he's a preacher, isn't he?
Yep. He said he's trying to call. It should work. Everyone else had a problem. Should be good.
I know he said at one time his channel was experiencing problems, and he couldn't show videos and whatnot. And he said that he was passing out flyers. I guess that's what he said. He was passing out flyers on the parking lot and stuff, and talking to people, telling them, "Hey, check out this the YouTube channels, and check out Mandela Effect and all that stuff." So he's out there pushing it as hard as he can, man. He's trying to get the word across, And so he said he's having trouble calling. So I wonder what the heck's going on there.
There he is.
Hey.
Hey, man. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing good. What happened? You know what happened is y'all number is similar to the number that Scarab used. I thought that was the number, and so I was trying to put the code into that number. It's a little different. It's backwards. It's got the same 835, but it don't have the other four.
Oh, yeah, our numbers are close.
Hello?
I never noticed that. That's right.
Yeah. It's backwards. I'm like, because when I put it in, I'm like, oh, that's the number. And I'm calling, I'm putting the pin over it, ain't wrong code. I'm like, oh man. How y'all doing today, man? How y'all doing?
Good. We're glad you were able to catch us.
Say again?
I was just telling them about the good old days when we used to do live streams together, and wondering where's your videos been out here lately, E-Man?
I've been putting them out. Shut me down. I've been putting them out once, twice a week. Man, I got so many videos on artificial intelligence. I got videos on Elon Musk, and right before Scarab did his, I did mine about a day before he did his on the Neuralink, and I'm not getting any traction because they shut me down. And I'm doing the same thing I was doing prior, meaning I was doing the same tags the way I used to do it, you know. But I guess they got me blacklisted or what have you, because people saying that they're not receiving, even my subscribers, and they're not receiving any notifications. And I'm putting videos out, and trying to do it on a consistent basis without saying the same thing over and over again. And you know, it can get very what they call that. You can get in a routine where you say the same thing over and over again, and I didn't want to do that, so I just been finding topics. You know, I did the Elon Musk and Microsoft financing AGI now. I mean, it's about 12 or 16 companies that then spent $108 billion in AGI in just the second quarter. Microsoft just announced maybe last week $1 billion in investment in AGI. Now, AGI is a little different than AI. AGI is general intelligence where it's like a baby. It's learning on its own. It don't need anybody to do any pre-coding. It don't need really imagery or data. It actually learns and flexes its muscles on its own. Like, it's almost like it can imagine or adopt.
It teaches itself.
Yeah. It's
basically a
DeepMind.
sentient. It's a sentient
It's similar to
intelligence.
DeepMind, what Google is doing. They just want, you know, these companies want to be the first to have the breakthrough, and they tend not to work together. They work together, but they tend to try to see who can get it first, all up and running with no glitches. But you know, they all got their hand in the pot.
I'll tell you
I
what.
think the word they use is singularity. When it becomes self-aware, that's when you got a Terminator series on your hand.
Man, I was just about to mention that. It's some scary stuff you're talking about there, E-Man. I mean, I just feel worried about the future. If that's, in fact, our future, like Sagittariusly speaking said, it sounds like the beginning of Skynet almost. Almost if it's not Skynet, it's...
That's what they're doing. They're building a neural net with Elon Musk and all the rest of them. And so that's why it's almost like the enemy tell you what he's doing, and then act like he afraid of it, telling you what the dangers are, but he the main player. He one of the main go-getters. He telling you that it's worse than nukes. But
Yeah, I think what he's I think
Come
what
on
he's
now.
saying, guys, is the wolf will lay with the lamb.
Yeah. And so that I had an argument. I had an argument. Well, I hated to do it, but I wasn't trying to. But it seemed like I have a what they call that a buffer zone or a counterproductive person in my church. Well, not in my church, but I'm attending this church, and it seems like everything I say, they have the opposite. I was telling them about the news talking about birds falling out of the sky, bleeding at the mouth. Oh no, they just got hit by a plane. I'm telling them about AI. Well, we supposed to involve. I'm telling them about Uber and their ambitions to have a driverless car with no safety driver by the middle of next year in multiple cities. And I was telling them that the Bible says, unless the enemy takes advantage of us, we're not ignorant of the devil's devices. And so when she made her statement, I said, well, if you don't know what's going on and the enemy is taking advantage of you, you became ignorant. Everybody in the church got mad. I said, what you getting mad for? I said, if. And I said, ignorant only means unaware. Unaware and not have the knowledge of the situation. So when you taking ignorant as a people use that word in the wrong context, I say I can't try to sweeten up the word. The word says if that's what the case is, that's what you are. I'm not going to say anything other than that. If I tell you you unaware, I'm still calling you the same word that Bible says ignorant.
Yep, and it also says they're going to perish for lack of knowledge.
Yeah, and so, and then I say the word says, when people stop says that the word says it gives you power after his own heart to feed you knowledge and understanding. You can have knowledge of something but don't understand it. You can know about AI but don't understand what AI is. You can know what a stove is, but you don't know how to use it. You don't have the knowledge of the operation. And so I said, I don't try to belittle anybody or say that they stupid, because I didn't say stupid. I said, you're just unaware of situations. And when I'm trying to give you information, instead of you trying to take in the information and try to learn and research on your own, you have to rebut everything.
I think a lot of people just like to stay ignorant. And like you said, when you started mentioning this stuff, it sounds like a lot of people got angry because they're not ready to hear the truth, or they don't want to hear the truth. Either one of the two things.
Well, a lot of times it makes people feel uncomfortable. For instance, I worked at Walmart in their call center division, and you place an order on Walmart.com. AI handles the order. It's possible you can place an order for some, let's say, laundry detergent and some diapers. There will be no human interaction. You get on a computer, you click diapers, you click laundry detergent. The website itself collects your information, decides it has robots, drones or whatever, that can pick the item, put it on a belt. The item, the laundry detergent and the diapers roll down a conveyor belt type thing, fall into a bin. On their way down to the bin, they get dropped in a box. The box gets taped up by a machine. The address gets printed out and stuck on the box by a machine. Then the delivery truck comes and gets it. Once the delivery truck is driven by an AI, is AI and it's driving without a driver, there will be no human involved in you getting that diaper and that laundry detergent. There's no human interaction in that process. It's all the computer decides everything for you.
Yeah, of course. And the bad part about the situation of the transaction is, like I said, I've been putting videos out all the time, you know. But I showed them the video where President Obama said last year that artificial intelligence is here and it's accelerating, and to get a job is going to be tougher. We ain't going to be able to get everybody a job that's meaningful. And they still weren't hearing it. Then I gave them a clip of Jody Rose that said by 15 years, which is 5 more years, artificial intelligence going to beat us in everything. And that was 4 years ago when he said that. And then I showed them what Elon Musk said, that it's more dangerous than nukes. And then I even showed them a CNN website where people are revolting, protesting about this artificial intelligence takeover. But did you see it on the main channels? No. And what I told my wife and I told them, it's almost like they used to say, you put things in a book, nobody won't know because they ain't reading the book. And so what they're doing, they're telling you exactly what they're doing, but they're not telling you on mainstream. They put it on the internet. And they know the older generation don't really trust the internet or don't get on the internet. The new generation is only concerned about self-awareness and FaceTime and likes and all that, so they ain't really looking on the net for no news. And so that's their new hiding technique. So what they can say, well, we've been telling you, we may not put it on mainstream, but we have been putting the articles out. You haven't just been reading.
Yep. New York Times last week reported the lowest sales they've ever had since of newspaper circulation, including their online reading of their articles that they put online. Lowest reading since the year or the month that they first rolled out the newspaper back in like 1925 or whatever year it was when the New York Times came out. I mean, New York Times is a highly read, it was a benchmark epic, constitutional paper. I mean, everybody read the New York Times. If they didn't read anything else, they read the New York Times, and that's saying something that it's reached an all-time low. And it's because nobody wants their news anymore. People are getting their information from platforms like this, or from talk radio, or from Facebook or YouTube or whatever. But nobody's reading a newspaper or watching CNN. A CNN or Fox News puts out a news story right now. There's YouTube channels that are getting way more views, putting out the same news because people trust that news more than they trust the mainstream media news to give them the real information, the real unslanted version of the truth. Nobody trusts or wants to hear this fake stuff anymore, this simulated reality bull crap that they put out.
Well, what I think is they get news, I guess, because the only reason I'm saying this is because I'm out in the wild. I'm not afraid to take one for the team. Everywhere I go, I'm handing out Mandela effect cards, or I'm on my bullhorn outside of stores or on the street, telling them what's going on. And everybody that I talk to, and I'm telling you, the percentage and the data is less than 1%, maybe a fraction of a percent of people that's aware even what's going on. And so that's telling me that the people that we're engaging in is not even a fraction of what the public or people in your cities or around your town know about. And so the world is still going to be in shock or in awe of this revolution, what they say, that's coming right around the corner. And I tell people it's not 25 years, 30 years down the road. It's more than 2 to 3 years down the road where it's going to be so much. That's why I tell people now, I wouldn't be buying no house, banging on a job that I have that I think I'm going to have for 40 years, because I'm not guaranteed to have that job for 40 years. And anyway, when you buy a house that don't belong to you anyway, you're just paying low rent. If you own it, you're paying low rent. If you don't own it, you're just substitute to the system until you either die or pass it on, and then they tell you to sell it for a penny on the dollar.
Yeah, nobody owns anything anymore. Even when you own it, unless you can pay the property tax that they can adjust to be whatever amount they choose, you don't own it.
Like that
Right.
song goes.
So, and that's why I've been telling people, I mean, I don't want to fear you, but you have to get in the mindset of, I'm going to either give me a garden and start learning how to plant, because when they get this UBI, Universal Basic Income, up and running, and they start rolling it out to the masses, that's when the switch is about to get thrown all the way, because they're not giving nobody no money for free if the system ain't up and running. And they're already taxing it in Mississippi and Chicago and California already. And
They're already talking about putting a chip in our brain so that we can become part of the Internet of all things. Are you guys going to get a chip in your brain when that comes out next month?
Yeah, that's the Neuralink. At the Neuralink, and people say, and I told them today in church, you can talk that you have faith, but when the rubber meets the road, is you gonna give in like the Israel did when they got out of Egypt and God opened the sea and did all the miracles and let them free? And when they didn't see God for a minute, they started worshiping golden calves. They're talking cheap. I said, even with his disciples that seen him raise the dead and feed 5,000 fishes and all that, still was in denial of him. When they didn't have food or bread, what do you say? You a little faith. Did you just see what I did? So if the people that seen what God did and seen his miracles at a massive scale, what you think people that ain't seen nothing gonna do? What do you think they gonna do when they hungry? What do you think when the jobs run out, what they gonna do? And so if we don't get to a point where what God said, the time off is supposed to be in, you hear what I say, supposed to be in, to have meat in his house. That's what the word says. And because we didn't do or prepare like God said do, when we ain't got meat in his house, how we gonna survive? What people gonna do when they hungry and their children hungry? Huh?
Everybody done forgot how to fend for themselves. Everybody just knows how to click on a phone and tell the food to hurry up and get here.
I'm gonna go shoot me a deer.
You know what I'm saying? And so when we get to that point where the rubber really meets the road, is the faith that you talk about you got is a true faith, or that's just the faith with the situation that you're in? It's a difference. And the difference of having faith when everything's going good, then the way your faith when things are not going so good. And so we was, as people like even me, was responsible to stir up the goods and to invest in maybe land and cows and plants and, what do you say? We supposed to have been tilling the ground. That's what he told a man to do, till the ground. Not go to Walmart. He said, sweat by your brow. He didn't say go to Walmart and Jewels and Cokas and all of these conveniences to get your stuff. You're supposed to been going out there making it. When he say you give somebody a fish, they're only gonna have it for a minute, but you teach them how to do it for themselves. They can sustain themselves for long periods of time. And so
I don't know right now if my power went out and then my water went off. I don't know where I would go if Walmart's not open. I can't go buy some bottled water. I don't know where right now I could go get some water to drink. I don't know where that is. Whatever amount I have in my fridge, when it's gone, I'm going to be thirsty.
You see what I'm saying? And so we done got to a point where we stopped thinking for ourselves and learning and developing, you know, and we done went to the point of convenience, and they got us in a loop, got us dependent on it, and we got used to it. Now when they pull a string and say, here, I'm yanking this away. No yanking this away. We'll give you this, we'll give you that. Because we don't have any skills anymore of getting it for ourselves. We don't know how to get a kettle and some filters and some chlorine and clean the water ourselves. And so this is the
only way to do
it.
I was just saying, only way to do it when that happens really is because we won't have any power or anything like that, is to just build you a fire, boil all your water, kill all your food, process all your food, grow you some vegetables. That ain't going to help during the winter, but there's stuff you could forage during the winter too. But I'm saying, like, go ahead, Armor. I'm sorry.
Well, but I'm lucky to be raised where I was raised, because, you know, I don't even worry about that kind of stuff. I know where there's lots of springs around me. I know there's lots of wildlife around me. I was raised to hunt. So I know how to do all that stuff. We got our garden. I think the wife just got done canning, I don't know how many jars of potatoes and tomatoes. And so bring it on, man. None of that worries me, you know. And even if I didn't know how to do that, Father's going to provide anyway. So why worry?
Now you see how you have them techniques, but 85 to 90% of people don't have them techniques. 80 to 90% of the people don't know how to build a fire. Don't know how to take wood and rub it together on a rock. They don't know how to do that. People don't even go to Boy Scouts no more. They don't know. They don't know how to build a stove out of some alcohol and 2 cans with some alcohol. They don't know how to do that. And so the know-how, yeah, we fine. And then God will survive. But what did he say in his word? We perish for the lack of knowledge. Well, the Mandela effect now is we destroyed by for the lack of knowledge. And I remember perish for the lack of knowledge. And the point of that is, people say, well, it's the same thing. No, it ain't. Destroyed and perish are 2 different things.
Are you saying it says destroyed now? It don't say perish anymore?
Well, yeah.
Wow. Cool.
No.
Yeah, it used to be
said
perish.
Destroyed. Absolutely. It said destroyed in every translation. And I did a video on that. See, nobody's getting none of my videos. I got some good videos, but nobody getting them. Every translation says destroyed.
Yep, it was always perish to me. No doubt about that one.
Well, what's the name of your channel? I wanna put a link in our chat room.
E-Man 31. I'll have to check. Maybe
the algorithm. People subscribe. They cut it off, and I know why they're doing it. But like I say, I don't follow the numbers.
I was gonna say,
they know when I go to the highways and byways for real. I don't just settle on YouTube, because I know YouTube is almost like asking the enemy to give you some medicine. They part of the problem. So I just I use it while I can use it, but I go out in the wilds. I go on the highways and byways and try to a Mandela effect back booklet. Well, I had to put a booklet together and had it put together. And I'm doing a seminar in my city to just get the information out because every time I talk to somebody, they never heard of the Mandela effect. They barely heard of AI, and if they did hear AI, they don't know what it really is.
Well, I'll tell you what, brother, we really appreciate all the hard work and effort you're doing there. And it's a shame that your channel's getting pushed so far back because I
can't find it.
don't
When
even
I type in He-Man 31, all I get is the cartoon He-Man.
E-Man.
Not He-Man, E-Man.
E-Man. Yeah.
That's funny. That is funny.
Yeah.
I thank you. Who is this? I thank you for letting me call in and you all telling me because I know he's a man. He had a word, and I really thank y'all for just taking my call, and I'm sorry for holding y'all so long.
No, that's okay, man. Hey, I appreciate the call, brother. And I'll tell you what, I don't get notifications for your channel anymore. That's why I haven't maybe seen the videos. Maybe
No,
I can't find it even under E-Man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check. It's always on something you can tell to be used.
and they shutting me down, and like I say, I take it as a compliment, really, because that means I'm doing something right. I'm doing something right, and they don't like it. So I don't use a negative thing, huh?
Oh, I was just agreeing with you.
Yep.
It is an accomplishment because
I keep praying for y'all, and y'all pray for me, and I love y'all, man. And I tell everybody, I love you, I love you, and nothing you can do about it. Ooh, boy, thank y'all.
Thanks for calling in, brother. Always great to hear from you.
Yes.
Good. Oh. You still on there? Is he still on?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I found an E-Man channel, but it's not E-Man 31. So if you guys have a link for it,
I'll find
I don't know what's going on. I used to have him in Hangouts, and then, of course, I left that group. But like I said, I don't even get notifications. I know I'm subscribed to him, but I don't see any videos anymore, and that's why I was wondering if he even made videos anymore.
yeah, I don't know. I've never subscribed to him, but I will if I knew how to find his channel.
Should be it in the chat. I just put the link.
All right, thank you.
Well, that was a really good call. I always like talking to E-Man. He's awesome.
I could have swore you were saying He-Man.
Right? It does kind of sound like He-Man. But that's me. I'm He-Man. Well, I'm not He-Man. I'm Hero. So. But anyway, I think we're going to end it on that call. What do you guys think?
Sounds good to me. Believe it or not, I'm already subscribed. Oh, that's Armor Up. The link takes me to your channel.
What? That's impossible. Really?
Let me click it again. Maybe I just clicked it wrong. Yeah, He-Man. It says it E-Man in the thing. I want to click it. There it is. I got it.
I was going to say, how could it possibly go to my channel? That'd be freaky as heck.
I don't know how I ended up on your channel, but it's where I ended up.
That is weird.
All right, I'm in there now.
Channel, definitely. If you ain't subbed to E-Man, everyone, definitely sub him. Check him out. Good channel. I haven't gotten notifications either. Like I said, it may have unsubbed me. It unsubs me from channels. It unsubs me from Michelle all the time. Possibly E-Man. I'll have to go look. And other channel.
That's weird. I guess it don't like you too much, huh?
Yeah, I know, right?
It only does it for like 2 or 3 of the channels. I'm subbed to like probably 50 or more channels, maybe hundreds. You know what I mean? But there's 2 or 3 that it just seems to always, no matter many times I sub. Another weird thing, me and Michelle was talking. I wasn't even a wrench in her room anymore. I finally got a chance to pop into a live she was having, and we realized, or it was a premiere. She was doing a premiere of a movie. It was a pretty wild movie, and I wasn't even a wrench. So it not only unsubbed me from her channel, but took my moderator status. So yeah, YouTube's definitely messing with certain channels and me.
Yeah, most definitely. I can't tell you how many the channels that I don't want to watch. They're always there, ready for me to view. But anything that has any truth or substance to it, I have to physically look for it again, all over again, or check the actual channel to see what new content they've put out because I know I'm missing half the stuff.
Well, that even happens a lot with Scarab's channel and this channel. Even though I'm on the panels, I hardly ever get a notification that the show's starting. Sometimes I have to go, well, almost always, I have to go to the direct page, their page, and then I'll see that the video's up.
Yeah, same here. That's exactly how I do it. I've been the last couple times we've been airing, I've been putting out a Twitter under hashtag Mandela Effect to see if that, bring in a few new people. I don't know if it's working or not. But then I did the same thing last night for Dan's channel. About 20 minutes before his show started, I put out a tweet with a link to his show. I don't know. I don't know how much it helps, but I'm doing my part. That's all I can say.
Well, hey, that's a tweet thing to do. We appreciate it. It's very tweetable. You're such a tweet guy. Yeah, I don't know nothing about Twitter or any of that stuff. So good. I'm glad someone does because, yeah, it definitely can't hurt.
Here we are about ready to shut it down. We've got more watchers coming in. They're coming in late. I see you that Scarab's in here watching.
Oh, okay. Hey, Dan.
He causes crap, as usual. Yeah, popping in, talking his stuff.
We got a call. We got a call from Vivian today, Dan. I don't know if you were here if you heard that call, but she was
actually our caller.
Hey, he's the biggest troll ever, and he admitted to it. He even trolls his dad. You know that? He puts a Donald Trump shirt on the back of his chair, and said his dad gets real triggered by that. So I think that's pretty funny. He's like, I'm the champion of trolling. I said, yeah, I agree. If there was a championship belt made for trolling, you'd be the Hulk Hogan of it, buddy.
His picture would be on the belt. What are you talking about?
Do what? Do what now, God's Armor? I missed that.
I said, what are you talking about? It'd be his icon on the belt.
Oh, boy. We have to give him some crap, right?
Oh, I try all the time. He dishes it right out there. So he come in here and he said, well, here, I'll read you his comment. It's how he is. Hey, all, good to see y'all. So we have Hebrew, E-Man, and Soy Boy. What a great cast. So, yeah, that's my brother. Yeah. My friend. No, we love to scare him. I pick on him as much as he picks on me. I can't say much. I'm always getting on him about his soy boy drinks and his mamsy pansy stuff. He's the most un-Texan Texan I ever met. I tell him that all the time.
Oh, so he was calling you a soy boy.
I think so. Me or Sadgie. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
both
I'm not.
of us.
Yeah, either or.
Yeah, I figure it was
If,
meant for me just because that's how he is. But I'm going to lay it on Sadgie just because I can. But
well, if the shoe fits, I'll wear it. That's all I'm saying.
well, if you like soy, you're the man. I
Not a
don't do
big
soy.
fan of soy. I don't even really like
know.
soy sauce that much.
Nah, no, not much. Maybe once in a great while.
I pour soy sauce in just about everything I eat, so I must be a soy boy, huh?
He said it was me. He said, "LOL, it was Armor." Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. We're putting it on Sadgie anyway.
Right. He said he'd take the blame, so.
That's right. See, that's a true friend, Dan. Who'll take a blame for you. That's it. All right, seriously, I guess we are going to end this, ain't we? We've been going a while. How long have we been going?
Oh, we're on our third hour working on it. All right, do a quick shout out there, Armor. One last shout out, one last time. And then, wait, then we'll take 2 more calls that'll last another hour and a half. What do you say?
All right. Hey, yeah, let's do one last shout out, and then we got 2 more callers online. We'll take those. And
Yeah, the phone lines are closed, so don't try to call. I shut it down, I think. Heck, I don't know. Maybe they're still open. But anyhow, we got Scarab Performance in the house with a wrench. Oiler Greg sticking with us. Red Shirts Blues in the house. Jocko R with a wrench. Screwing up. Eddie Von Keen, of course, with a wrench. Always here since the beginning. Alone One's here. Always good to see Alone One. I know Michelle's was here. Jason was here. He's back in lurker mode, I believe. Michelle was here. I believe she was here, but muting up also. E-Man, of course, was here and just called in a bit ago. Great hearing from him. SS was also here. And hopefully that's about everybody. Let me scroll back to the bottom. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, Alarani Noskintal arrived late. Well, better late than never.
Noskintal.
At least time for the shout out. All right, I think I got everything.
I like saying
Thanks
that.
Father's love.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I like saying that name, Noskintal. Noskintal. It's a good thing that you said it and not me, the whole name, because I would have totally botched it up. And you know I would have.
I probably got it wrong. Who knows?
Well, that just about, huh? Oh, go ahead, man. I'm sorry, dude.
I just hooked it on phonics. Alarani Noskintal. Probably way off.
Hey, it sounds good to me.
And Scarab said he's the godfather of trolling. So, what's that mean?
Hey.
You want people to kiss your ring?
He's welcome to troll our live stream anytime he wants.
Oh, cool. And Alarani Noskintal said I got it right. So, awesome. All right, I'm going to shut up now so Hebrew can close out the show. Because every time he unmutes, I say something. So.
Well, that just about does it for everyone here at the Hebrew channel. That closes out another Shifty Sunday. I'd like to thank everybody for popping in and watching the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I enjoyed being on. And thank you, God's Armor, for being with us. And Sagittarically speaking, you as well. Thank you, guys.
Well, you're welcome. My pleasure.
You got it.
And so, with that being said, everyone have a good night, and God bless everyone. I said that last week, and I think it came off a little bit too much Tiny Timish, but I think I said it right this week. Well, that's what it seemed like to me. It came off Tiny Timish. I don't know. I think I made up a new word. But anyway, yeah, so good night, everybody. Let's hit that stop button down here in the corner, just right there.